What's up, you guys? What is going on? I am doing another live video sharing with you guys how you can make money, launch your business, and be successful with the unclaimed funds business. This industry is like no one else. Um, you don't have to pay for leads. And I absolutely love that about working unclaimed funds. It doesn't matter if you're working tax overages, mortgages, state funds, bankruptcies. The niches are out there for you, but with some due diligence and picking the right states, you can do really, really well. But what this video is about is I'm going to show you how you can make your first 10K in this business. I see people all the time who get into this line of work and they do it all wrong. I don't know if it's because they're buying certain courses that's just teaching them the ineffective ways, or maybe they're just working a lot harder and not smarter. I don't know what the case may be, but I want to break it down and make it really super simple for you. So if you're joining me in this video and you're catching it live, I want you to say, what's up? Tell me where you're from. All right. If it's a state that I'm familiar with, maybe I might use your state for an example as to how you can start doing this process. But I'm pumped about today because what I'm going to show you right now is what helped me triple down on my income. And at a minimum, you should be making at least 10K a month if you're doing this as like a part-time job. Now, like any business, please do not let me mislead you. You obviously want to put in the time, effort, and sacrifice needed to get your business up and going. Once you get it up and going and you got processes and systems in place, then you can scale back on how much time you put into your business, depending on how much income you want to make. If you grow a team and you build a team out, that's even less work for you, right? So let's not get everything twisted. I don't want to mislead anyone thinking that you're just going to come in and you're just going to give a lackluster 2 hours a day, an hour a day, and think that you're going to grow a successful business, because that's not this type of business. Maybe an MLM, maybe something out there you can just give a half effort and make a lot of money. But this business right here, you can make a lot of money, but it's going to take effort and time in the beginning. And like me, mine is on autopilot right now. And I'll share exactly how I put my business on autopilot. So for those of you all who like to travel like me, you like to go on vacations, you like to go to seminars and leave your home state, you can still make money while you're traveling. I was just on a cruise ship and we made like, I think $4,000 or $5,000. We were gone for 7 days. We made about between $4,000 and $5,000 while we were gone. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to briefly cover how that is. And I'll make a whole new video if you guys are interested on exactly how I made that happen, but I'll cover that today. All right. So today, the topic that I want to talk about a system that works really well. And I teach this in my course to the people who I coach. I don't coach everybody. I don't have time to have hundreds and thousands of coaching clients. Okay. I put too much energy and time into the people who I coach to where I'm not running one of those courses where one all be all can come in. That's not what I do, because I have a business that I'm running. Okay. I take people in who are serious, they're ready, and they just need some guidance. Those are the people who I work with. But the thing that I always tell them is the money is in the monster follow-up. The monster follow-up is a strategy that I learned as a gym owner in a mastermind. And the business coach was telling us, like, you guys are letting so much money fall out the back door because you have no rhyme or reason as to how you're following up on people. You're following up with people by chance versus following up with people by intent. Now, I learned the strategy, I learned the process, I fell in love with it. And of course, like, there's always room for improvement on the strategy that he shared with us. And I was like, how do I simplify this? Because the system that I was taught originally was like super complicated. It was like all over the place, all these moving pieces. And I was like, whoa, dude, I'm a simple guy. I can handle myself on a computer, but I'm not extremely tech savvy. And it'll take me days or weeks to put something together the way he explained it. I didn't have days or weeks to do that. And I didn't have the finances to hire some tech guy to do it for me at the time. So I came up with my own strategy and I came up with my own process for someone who doesn't have little to anything to invest in a process, especially when you're in a testing phase. You don't want to spend a lot of money. So I want to share my screen with you guys. And I want to show you guys exactly how the monster follow-up system works. Again, if you're just now joining the chat, I'm seeing people coming in. I want you guys to say what's up. Tell me what state you're from. It's always cool to meet new people and see where you guys are coming from, because again, some of you guys live in some states where if you're not working the state you're living in, oh my God, you're really leaving money on the table, especially if you're trying to do this type of business. So without further ado, while you guys are typing in your states in the comments, I want to go ahead and share my screen. I want to show you guys the way I started, and then I want to show you what you can level up to once you start making money with your business and you start elevating your game. Okay, this is going to be awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and go here. I'm gonna share my screen, and then boom. Now, everybody should have Google Sheets. All right. It requires you to have a Google account. If you don't have a Google account, it is free. And they have a lot of free software that works just like Microsoft Excel and Word. It may not be as fancy, but it's pretty basic and it gets the job done. And I want to share with you guys exactly what I show my clients. Okay. Now, my clients, just so full transparency, the software that I use, they get it for free. I don't charge them for the software that I use because they're students of mine. But if they weren't students of mine, they would have to learn how to do this with Excel spreadsheets, exactly how I'm showing you. When I started, I knew I needed to be organized. I knew I needed a strategy, and this is something that I built out. So the first column that I have right here is your lead. When you start working your leads, you need to make sure you put their information here. And I'm going to show you exactly how I fill mine out. So like right here, let's just use my name, for example, right? Let's just say it's Joe Green. And let's say that the money that is out there for me, let's say this case is worth $5,000. Let's just, oops, $5,000. Okay. And then let's say I put the address. Well, I put the possible addresses, possible emails, because it might be multiple, phone numbers, the accounts related to the person, and etc. Right? We're just gonna keep it basic for now. So this is one profile right here. And then you can format this however you want, however you want to format your cells so it looks nice and neat for you. But just for the purposes of training, we're going to keep it moving. So from here, you want to go ahead and when you start making your phone calls, you're just going to cut and you're going to paste. Now, again, I'm telling you guys, this is what you do if you have no money for software. All right. You're just going to cut and paste. And this is showing that you called your lead. Okay. This person's going to stay in this section until you move them to the monster follow up. Now, if the lead answers the phone and you close your deal, you're going to move them to deal closed. Now, this is good because it lets you know where your people are because you're going to have probably a couple hundred people in your pipeline over time. You want to know where everyone is at every stage of the process. If you're working with a team, it's good for people who have different parts of the process. They can log in and they can see where their clients are at. Now, I'm going to blow your mind when you start leveling up to different types of software. But for now, this is the very basics. So from here, you're going to cut this and you schedule them for a Zoom call. Let me explain the Zoom call. You don't have to do Zoom calls. You can do your follow-up call. You can do it on the phone. A lot of people you call may be different in age. They may not feel comfortable being on a camera. Just do what's most comfortable for your client, to the best of your ability. And then, but you want to make them to the next stage, which for me is a Zoom call. Okay. So from there, I'm going to mail them some documents. Some things can be signed over the computer. Some things are going to have to be signed, like wet signature. So once I get everything out, I mail it out and that lets me know, let me contact the person. And I'll put in my notes right here that, contacted about mail out, right? Just putting in a little note so I keep track of what's going on because I want to know if I made contact with them or not. You can even put dates. You could be as specific as you want to. Now over here, I want to track when they sign the documents. If they contact me, so they signed it, okay, great. You just move the person along. So you guys get what I'm getting at. Once you receive it, you got your tracker where it shows, I received and reviewed the documents, but you also want to let the client know, like, hey, I received it. I got it. This is awesome. When you mail the documents, you want to make sure that you're keeping track of it, the dates and times and notes, and then when the claim is processed. All right. So this is one way you can do it. What I use is something called Nurture Ninja. And if you guys follow any of my videos, which I think you guys should be following my videos on YouTube, I talk about the different types of softwares I used until I got to Nurture Ninja. I didn't just go from Google Sheets to Nurture Ninja. No, I was testing different things out. Some things worked well, some things didn't work so well. Obviously, Google Sheets is very basic, right? It's not like the most ideal thing, but it works. It gives me a visual so I know like where I'm at with my battle plan. Well, from there, you can essentially build a process where I got my Nurture Ninja right here, and I can build an entire process where you can see this is built very similarly. You got new leads, if I'm working it, if I replied, oops, let me put over here, surplus funds. There we go. There we go. New leads. If I called them, if a deal was closed, documents sent, so I got a very similar setup moving along all the way down here. All right. So like this right here is so important because if I build a contact name, let's say Joe Green, right? Joe's Joe Green. I put Joe's gmail.com. All right. Phone number 555-123-321. Boom. Boom. All right. So we got those things on there. Delete one of those numbers. Oh, I guess it doesn't like the 555. Let me just put 702-541-2365. There we go. All right, company name. We're gonna skip that. For some reason, the phone number doesn't like my. It doesn't like my. There we go. It liked that one, so we'll take that one right here. So I got everything tracked right here. It's really cool. I could put the value, like how much money would I make if I work this lead right here. It's like all these cool things, right? I can go in here and I can create different tasks. I can say, hey Joe, you're gonna do this task, right? This task, and I say like, do this today. So I'm building that out there. I can assign it to myself. I can assign it to other people. I'm gonna assign it to Joe Green and the due date. So I can do all that stuff right there. I can book an appointment, right? If I'm creating the Zoom calls, I can book appointments. All these things are super awesome right here. But going back here and also, opportunity. You're just making sure you got everything that you need, to work your lead. And then you click add, right? Oh, opportunity name. Let's just do surplus funds, whatever. All right, that's the lead's name right there. So you save the lead, and what you're going to see as it's adding it to my system, it's going to work like the Excel spreadsheet. You can see it's tracking the amount of money. It's got everything right here. I can add tasks. I can open this back up. I can create notes. Notes go here. So I got all these things. I can save this. So anything that's going on, I can constantly just keep track of like what's going on with this client as I'm working them. You guys, organization is everything. So I updated this. So everything is cool. If I want to call them, I can click right here and it's going to pull up and it's going to dial the number. Let me hang up. So I'll call like some weird stranger. There we go. Now, once I call them, boom, I drag them over, and this can trigger automation. This can make, text messages go out, emails going out, like the follow-up sequence begins. When I close a deal, boom, this can text my partners. This can text my team. Hey, Joe just closed a deal. Hey, he just scheduled an appointment for this person to meet on Zoom. So I just keep moving down and down. I can make this shoot automation to my clients, the lead who I'm working with. I can have a delay of when notifications go out. So it's awesome, like of the possibilities of what you can do when you're tracking. And you can see right here, this is like another example that I was using with my students. But look right here. I want to feast your eyes on this. If this example person's worth $10,000, this person's worth $5,000, that's $15,000 in my pipeline that I'm working. The more people I add, you can have $1 million worth of people in your pipeline that you're working. So you know how much money is on the table. In your notes section, you can put how much money your client is going to get. What account are you working with? Is so much opportunity for you guys to make a ton of money working with a system that's going to help you track your progress. And the monster follow-up sequence, when I drag it all the way to the other end where it says monster follow-up, the awesome thing about that is when I do the monster follow-up, it does all the emails. It does everything for me. You can see right here, it says monster follow-up. I'm circling right there. And it's going to trigger emails and text messages just to drip to my client, daily. So I could do emails every day, text messaging once a week, or I can ramp it up and be more aggressive if I want to. I can send ringless voicemails. The software, it cuts my man hours down, like by at least 40%. By 40%, all the follow-ups, everything I need. The Google Sheet, the most basic thing in the world, can make you an additional 5 to 10 grand because you followed up. The monster follow-up is the key to success. People come into this business and all they want to do is they want to come in and they just want to wing it. They just want to call numbers, hope someone picks up. Maybe they'll call again by chance, or maybe they'll just skip trace new numbers because they gave up on the old ones. That's like over 90% of the people who come in this industry. They don't give it a chance. They skip trace thousands of people. And I'm like, I'm doing like a tenth of the work that you're doing. I'm doing a tenth because my follow up system is so hardcore and it's so good. I eventually wear them down to the point to where they answer the phone. Because if your particular case is worth $5,000 to me, that's worth me working on you for the entire month. It doesn't mean I'm not going to work other people. It just means I'm not going to give up on you at all this month, because eventually you're either going to tell me to stop calling or you're going to pick up the phone. Those are the only two options you got to get me to stop calling you. Because if I get to the point to where I'm no longer interested in calling your number, I'm just going to drop you into the monster follow up where the automation is constantly like texting, ringless voicemails, emails, until you say stop, until you tell me to stop. It's just going to keep coming. And that is power. That's how you don't leave money on the table. I teach this in my academy because it's important. You can't just dial for dollars. You can't just like wing it and hope that someone one day, someday is going to pick up the phone and talk to you. No, you got to move with intent. You got to have strategy. You got to have systems and processes in place. That's all you really need. And again, if you're not tech savvy, use something that's basic that will complement your level, or hire someone to build things out for you. I didn't build out my monster follow-up system. I had a tech guy create all the automations and the triggers, and he made it to where now when I got people who come into my course, they get that. That's part of their system now. They get business in a box. They get a plug and play unclaimed funds business, because I know time is valuable. My students don't have time to build out automations. They don't have time to build their own websites. They come to me so I can provide that solution for them so they can get to work and do what they want to do, which is earn a living helping people claim their funds that's being tied up with the county or the state. And that should be your goal. Your goal should be, how can I free up my time to be on that phone and to work with people versus creating, crazy complex, steps and programs. But you got to move with intent. That's like my biggest message I want you to take away from this today. I tell you guys, I've been doing this for a while. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of people have these high expectations and get disappointed and they quit early. You can absolutely earn 50K, 100K a month. I mean, I've seen, people do it, but see, the thing that some people aren't sharing is you need a team to get to those levels. Otherwise you're gonna get there, but you're gonna burn out because you're taking on so much of a workload on your own. If you have a team, you have a good, supporting cast, you can make it happen. If you're doing this solo as a side hustle, then yeah, you can expect maybe 5 to 10K. I mean, that's where you live because you're comfortable with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you got a good career and you don't plan on leaving your career, you want to retire, you want to do your thing, that's your main primary source of income, keep that your primary source of income. You might only want to make an extra $2,000 to $5,000 a month. You may not want to work too hard. Like you're like, Joe, all I got is like 2 or 3 hours every now and then. Okay, cool. Well, don't expect to make more than like, $2,000 to $5,000 a month if all you can give is a couple hours a week. Like it's a business at the end of the day. And your business will grow if you nurture it. The more you nurture, the more you get. The less you nurture, the less you get. It's just simple math. So I hope you guys found value in this video. Please let me know if you have any specific questions. I want to give a quick shout out to the people who left comments. And for mayor, let's go. That's right. I'm running for mayor. California. There we go. I love California. 2 people from California. That's awesome. We got a Cali people in the house. So, but in California, it's a great state to work. It's the one I work, it's one I actually enjoy working. It's not that hard. So what I'm saying to you guys is, put in the work. Start with your state first. Then if it's not beneficial to you, if there's too much red tape, then look at other friendlier states. California is one of the most friendly states to work in this type of industry, and I think a lot of people do very well because we have a very big state. There's a lot of money. I think there's like $8 or $9 billion unclaimed annually in California. And it just makes me smile when people are like, oh my God, there's too much competition in Cali. I'm like, yes, keep thinking that, because I have 8 billion reasons why there's not enough competition. If California's bank was always dry, yeah, I would probably not work California. I'd probably move to like, Texas or Florida or another like friendly state. I might even look at Wisconsin. I might look at some other places to where I might work them if California's bank was dry. But California, we're in the billions, people. That tells me there's a ton of money that's just going unclaimed. It's not being worked hard enough. And that's where we come in. And the leads are endless every day. Every Thursday, California updates their list, and there's always a new fresh set of leads. And you got to keep that in mind. You got to be mindful of like what's available to us. So, anyways, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. If you're going to start a business, take it serious. Okay, don't play around and don't treat this like this is just some side gig that you're not, really concerned about, because you'll never do well in this type of business. This business takes due diligence. It takes someone who's committed and wants to do it. And if you do it, you're going to do really well. Like I said, I promised you guys a video of how I put my business on autopilot when I travel, when I do different things. One thing, I hire and I train virtual assistants to run my process, and my whole role in the process is I just do the paperwork. That's it. I let them do the phone calls. I let them do the skip tracing. I let them help me manage the day-to-day operations. They give me reports, and it's amazing. Okay. It's one of the best things I've ever done for my business. And you could do the same thing, but get your first couple of deals under your belt first. Get a couple of deals under your belt. Find out how the process works and how you want your systems to rock and roll, and then hire help. All right. So, anyways, I'll make a whole separate video on how you guys can make that happen. If you're interested, just let me know in the comments, you're interested, and I'll go ahead and make that, and I'll make sure I post it within the next few days. All right, you guys, I got to cut out. I got work to do.